Welcome to the GOZA podcast, where we talk about all things rock and roll. We're going to be continuing our series on reviewing the greatest moments in rock and roll history. What do we got today?
Today we're going to be looking at the original lineup of Guns N' Roses back in 1986.
Wow.
I got two different performances lined up, and one of them's at the Roxy in Hollywood.
Nice.
And these guys were like the king of Hollywood. The kings of Hollywood. And so this one's awesome. It's got Axl Rose's girlfriend on stage with them, and she was a dancer and, musician herself, typical Hollywood girl, right? Mm-hmm. And I wanted to show this one because it just exemplifies how crazy these guys were. And then we'll look at one more because this is a short clip. But let's get right into this, yeah?
Yeah.
Take a second to subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment of what you want us to react to. And our original music is on our channel, and that's what's up with the line across our face.
Wow.
That's it. You hit that note, great. Straight chaos, Mm-hmm. So that was short. I chose that clip because it just shows you like the chaos of the group and how crazy they were and how much of an experience it was to see them. I mean, obviously Slash was probably on higher than a kite. He falls over in the beginning of the stage.
Right.
And then, Axl Rose, he's got his stripper girlfriend up there. I think Axl's wearing assless chaps. That's what it looked like. And then, you got Izzy, who's the other guitar player, the rhythm guitar player. Obviously, he's keeping his composure. Like, okay, someone's got to hold it down.
Yeah.
And so it really just exemplifies what an experience of seeing them back in the 80s would have been like.
Right.
And, I mean, Slash was actually hitting those notes really good. Like, for being all crazy and probably high as a kite, all his solos were on point, you know? And Axl's voice was on point, But you could tell there was some sloppiness, some real rock and roll. It was gritty, it was dirty,
Yeah, I liked that a lot.
So we're going to take a look at one more where they're really on point. This is 1988 at the Ritz in New York. Oh. Okay? This is the opening song.
And how many years between these two?
That other one was 1986. Okay. So 2 years.
Wow.
And a lot happened for these guys in 2 years. Like, their momentum started going really fast, Mm-hmm. And the thing about Guns N' Roses is that, like, they're one of those bands that it is just these particular players put together made magic.
Right.
What do they call it? The sum of the whole is greater than the parts. So by their own, each single one isn't as powerful as all of them together. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, when Izzy left the band, he was the original songwriter. He's the one who came up with the riffs, the writing the songs, these masterpieces, and he was also the kind of the one that wasn't into like, okay, you guys are going crazy. You guys aren't showing up for rehearsals. You're not showing up for the media, press things.
Did he leave the band?
He left the band.
Oh,
and he joined like some smaller punk band, you know, that never rose to fame and was way happier.
Interesting.
Right. And so hopefully he's getting songwriter royalties to this day and performance royalties to this day.
Hopefully.
Right. And then we got Steve Adler, who's the drummer. I had the pleasure of meeting him a couple times in Hollywood. Super down-to-earth guy. But I think it was, you know, his intoxication that they kicked him out. You know, he couldn't always play the same beat that he's supposed to play. And that's so funny because you got, you know, Duff McKagan, the bass player, and Slash, who are known for their struggles with addiction.
Right.
And so if they kicked someone out for their...
It was in bed or something else.
Right, exactly. So here we go. This is one of their performances where they're really on point. Let's take a look at it. We'll just view the first song. Way bigger club.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Way more produced.
Yeah.
All the same guys?
Yeah.
It's like they grew up, huh?
Yeah, they're taking themselves seriously.
Nothing seems to please me, and all feels so right when I fade into the night. Feeling to you fall down. I see you standing. You think you're so cool. Why don't you just? That's what you do. Turn around, bitch, I got a use for you. Besides, you ain't got nothing better to do, and I'm bored. It's so easy, everybody's trying to use me, baby. It's so easy, everybody's trying to use me. So easy, but nothing seems to please me. And I'll feel so right when I fade into the night. So come with me. Don't ask me where, 'cause I don't know. I'll try to please you. I ain't got no money, but it's gonna take time. So
His dance moves are too much.
Same guitar.
Wow.
Same Les Paul. I mean, Axl's voice, he has such an incredible range. You know, obviously, like when he's hitting those low notes, he's like, you know, slapping hands in the crowd, so he's not like super nailing them, but you know his voice, you know, and then at the end he's going to that higher register.
Yeah.
One of the best voices in rock and roll.
Right.
No auto-tune.
Yeah.
You know. And yeah, you could tell everyone's trying to keep it together a little bit.
Yeah, act
they,
professional.
Right, and they sacrifice a little bit of that danger to have that more professionalism.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Slash sounded better in the previous video. Maybe his addiction was starting to get to him by that time because, drugs will eat at you over time. At first you don't think you're doing drugs, and then drugs start doing you.
Well said.
And so, prime example of why you can't go down that road. You cannot go down that road.
Or if you do, make sure you come back in time.
And very, very few people can do that.
Yeah.
Very few people can dabble and come back, and better to just not do it. And Axl Rose, I think he was one of those people who, knew how to have fun and how to not. Okay, we're done. And his problems were more actually psychosis without drugs. He's more like he might flip on you for no reason. And I mean they still sounded great though. The harmonies with the bass player, legends. Absolute legends.
Totally.
Yeah, and that was a way bigger club than the Roxy.
Right.
The Roxy on the Sunset Strip, I think maybe probably like an 800 capacity.
It's a small club if you've been there.
Yeah, we've been there. I used to hang out at the Rainbow Bar and Grill a lot. That's where, Guns N' Roses will always hang out. That's where I met Steven Adler, the drummer, as well as when I worked at a studio, he would use that studio to rehearse. One of the nicest guys you could ever meet. Humblest guys you could ever meet. So every single one of those people was their own galaxy, their own cosmo that came together for a big bang,
Yeah.
And it just sucks because now Guns N' Roses, they're touring and you can go see them, but it's Axl Rose, Slash, and Duff McKagan. But Izzy's not there and Steve Adler's not there, and you're not going to have that same magic. Right. That's why none of the songs that they came out with were as good as their first two albums where they had all the original members.
Right.
And that's why bands are bands, because it's about it's
that combination
chemistry of those particular people.
Yeah.
So they looked way more professional.
Yeah.
Way grown up.
You could tell. It had to have been their managers or something labels all right, you guys have to be, be contained within this line.
Right.
Don't cross it.
Right. And because even these two performances they were on, but they were known for also having really bad shows.
Really?
Yeah, it was like lightning in a bottle. If you caught them at a good performance, they were on.
What do you mean by bad?
Well, Slash could be frickin' coming down or something, or it took too much, and so they were just bad performances, playing off key and just the classic. They're either on or they're off. They're on or they're off. So that's one of the reasons why Izzy left the band. He's like, I'm not gonna present myself, and it's unpresentable. We don't got it together, and so it's always hit or miss with them.
Right.
It is what it is. That's part of the rock and roll. That's part of the danger. You're tiptoeing that line. So they were on this time, but infamous for also giving horrible performances.
I love that though. That's
real.
So real.
There's no backing track to save them. There's no auto tune to save them. Nowadays you go to a concert, you go to Motley Crue, and you're just listening to the backing track.
There's been a lot of that lately.
It has to stop.
Yeah.
It takes the edge out of rock and roll. It takes that danger. Go put on the album. You want to hear it. You want to hear it pitch perfect. Go put on the album.
Right.
You're not going to get that live feel. You're not going to be like, okay, we came to see these guys to experience them playing the song at that night, because every single performance is different, right?
Totally.
Like I said, they could be having a bad day,
right? And
boom, it's going to show on stage. Axl Rose wouldn't go on. He would just be like, I'm having a bad day. We're not going on.
Really? Yes. Cancel a show.
Starting riots.
Oh, shoot.
There's a infamous time. They're on tour with Metallica, okay? Metallica goes on before them, and they have a pyrotechnic thing go wrong. And James Hetfield, the singer, gets burnt by fire. So he's like, under the fire, and the pyrotechnician hits the fire and he gets burnt. And so, they're like, all right, sorry guys, we got to stop the show, rush him off to the hospital, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. And Guns N' Roses is supposed to come on next.
Yeah.
And so Axl's just like, no, I'm not going on. I'm not going to let them show me up.
That killed his mood.
Yeah, he's like, they're not going to show me up. I'm going to not go on,
Because that probably like broke a lot of the energy of the audience, and then he didn't want to come on to a weird environment.
Right, exactly.
Which is understandable at the same time. Yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of angry people.
There was an actual riot. Yeah.
And he followed through with it. He did not play.
He did not go on. And so that was like, the beginning of the major downfall for them.
Wow.
And I think Steve Adler had already been kicked out. I don't know if Izzy was still playing with them, but that's what you kind of paid for. You kind of paid for okay, who are these guys real? Are they the real deal?
Some crazy mofos.
Yeah, are these the real deal,
Love it.
So kudos to them.
Yeah.
Real rock stars, real rock and roll. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys in the next video.